What's going on, guys? Chris here, checking out that Battlefield 1 Mondragon rifle in today's video. It's a semi-automatic self-loading rifle which can be equipped as a primary weapon on a medic loadout. The Mondragon rifle in Battlefield 1 is actually one of 3 designs, all developed by the Mexican military officer Manuel Mondragon. The initial rifle designs, the M1893 and the M1894, were both straight-pull bolt-action rifles, both serving as a basis for a later semi-auto design, the M1908, which is the one that we get to use in the game. The M1908 was Mexico's first self-loading rifle, and one of the first that ever got to see combat. It was adopted by the Mexican army in 1908, and on the very same year, manufacturing orders were issued to the Swiss-based arms factory SIG. Though down to the political instability of Mexico at the time, with the Mexican Revolution taking place, by 1910, only 400 of the 4,000 rifles which were ordered for the Mexican army were actually delivered by SIG. Because of a few issues regarding the weapon's ability to cope with poor quality ammunition, led to the Mexican government completely cancelling their order after only about 1,000 had arrived, leaving SIG with more than 3,000 unpaid rifles left over. But World War I was just around the corner, and SIG found a buyer for these leftover weapons, the German Empire. The Mondragon rifles were tested by infantry, though they had quite a few problems with their ability to handle the muddy, dirty environments within the trenches, and so many were instead issued to the German Air Corps as a firearm for observers to use whilst in flight. So anyway, in Battlefield 1, the Mondragon rifle is a weapon that can be used by medics, with a total of 3 variations, the Optical, Storm and Sniper, which are all going to play out slightly differently to each other. But I'll go over all of that stuff more so later. Right now, I'm going to get those general stats on the screen and take a look at how the Mondragon compares with the other medic guns. Damage wise, the Mondragon has a maximum value of 40 up to 26 meters, which is where that damage starts to drop off, gradually decreasing down to 35 at 52 meters and so on. So generally there isn't a huge amount of damage drop over distance, as each bullet is only going to deal 5 damage less far away as it would up close, and this doesn't actually affect how many bullets it will take to kill a player with full health. It's going to take 3 bullets to kill at any range, making it a fairly strong weapon to use across all distances. Most of the other medic rifles require 4 to 5 bullets to kill at long range, so the fact that the Mondragon only needs 3 to put someone down might give it an edge when engaging opponents further away. Although it's pretty powerful across the board, it does have one of the lowest fire rates of all the semi-auto rifles, at just 257 RPM. With only the Selbstlader M1916 firing just a tad slower at 224 RPM. Because of this lower rate of fire, it might make up close and personal gunfights a bit trickier to do well in. And although you can kill in 3 bullets with the Mondragon at close range, you can also kill in 3 bullets with practically every other medic rifle too. And with those firing faster, they're going to be able to get those rounds out and onto an enemy in a shorter amount of time. Meaning the Mondragon probably won't be able to kill quite as quickly as them in CQC. One thing to point out is that the gun's got a fair amount of kick too, with a vertical recoil figure of 1 and a horizontal figure of 0.32. So it's not exactly the most accurate weapon of the bunch, meaning it's going to usually perform better when lining up singular shots and firing 1 bullet at a time, rather than spamming the trigger and attempting to kill by firing as quick as you can, which is normally only reliable if the other guy is really close. Other than a high damage over range, another factor that gives the Mondragon a bit of a boost for long distance battles is that high bullet velocity of 800 meters per second, which is going to make hitting them far away easier as there's less bullet travel time, and so those shots are going to reach their destination, i.e. your opponent, a little bit quicker. You shouldn't have to lead your target's movements quite as much, generally making it more of a reliable weapon to use over longer ranges. You'll have 10 rounds total in each of those non-detachable box magazines, using 2 5-round stripper clips per reload, which puts it on par with the Seiri Gotti. 10 rounds isn't really much, meaning you will find yourself reloading quite a lot, though because you can kill in 1 less bullet than a lot of the other medic rifles at distance, you might find it slightly easier to manage your ammunition. So as far as those 3 variations go, the Storm variant sticks a vertical foregrip on there, which basically lowers the recoil pattern of the gun by 40%. You're going to have 0.6 upwards recoil as opposed to 1, and a 0.19 horizontal recoil instead of 0.32. This is going to make the gun seem steadier when you're firing multiple shots, one after the other in quicker successions, reducing some of that bounce that the Mondragon has after every pull of the trigger. It's not got any fancy optics or anything like that, which probably suggests that it could be more of a suitable variant for those shorter range firefights. Plus, that smaller recoil pattern will definitely help keep the gun more stable when you need to fire those bullets fast to deal with someone close by. Moving on to the optical variant, this one pretty much affects the spread of the bullets when aiming down sights. It's got its own lens scope mounted on top of the gun, and when looking through these optics, you'll have a 50% reduction to spread increase per shot, and a 25% lower base spread too. So the difference between this variant and the last one is that the optical retains its normal recoil pattern, but as you fire your shots, the bullets are going to spread out less within said recoil pattern, generally making it more accurate and predictable to use. This might be a better variant for engaging targets at slightly further distances, with some added zoom along with that bonus accuracy advantage in ADS. Last of all is the sniper variant, and being a sniper variant, you're gonna get yourself a nice long range scope for lining shots up easier with enemies in the distance, which also grants you less spread when not moving too. Along with this, you'll also have a bipod, in case you want to plant down and set up a sniper nest. The added zoom from the telescopic sight is going to allow you to acquire targets far away easier, and that bipod's going to help remove the recoil as you fire when it's in use. Though you will be a stationary sitting duck should you stay in the same place for too long. But this variant will be a much better one for anyone who prefers to pop shots from far away and take out their opponents that way. So in conclusion, the Mondragon rifle is a hard-hitting weapon that retains its stopping power over distance. It can kill in 3 bullets no matter where your target is, though that slow rate of fire does let it down a bit at closer ranges, when you need to get those bullets out fast before your enemy does. It's got a fairly small mag size along with a recoil pattern that isn't really all that amazing. Though with a strong power over distance along with a speedy bullet velocity, this will most likely give you an advantage against enemies further away. But anyway, that's all I've got to offer in this one, folks. Be sure to give me a like if you enjoyed the video and want to see more, and of course subscribe to check out loads of other Battlefield 1 guides and other stuff too. Take it easy guys, and I'll see you in that next one.